The hidden price of credit. A destitute mother faces an impossible choice. A woman, crushed by poverty and broken by the repeated pleas of her children, was ultimately forced to make a choice no mother should ever have to make. As you all know, in today's world, no one gives anything away for free. Even a smile often has a hidden price. So listen closely. A destitute mother, having nothing left, went to a clothes vendor to ask for new outfits for the Eid al-Adha holiday. But what this vendor was about to propose would force her to choose between her dignity and the smiles of her children. What this man demanded, and why this woman eventually gave in, you will soon discover in this deeply moving account. But remember this detail, this is no ordinary story. The fall from grace, Nabintu's loss. This woman was called Nabintu, and her life was once full of laughter, love, and peace. She had a husband, wonderful children, and a home brimming with happiness. There was no worry about food, no fear of tomorrow. When the children wished for something, their father, Bakery, granted it without delay. And Nabintu, she smiled all the time. She thanked heaven for this gentle life, full of grace and gratitude. But destiny never asks permission before striking. One day, everything collapsed. Bakery died suddenly, and with him, all the peace in that house vanished. The laughter ceased, the children stopped playing, and Nabintu was left with only silence for company. For nearly a year, she managed to survive on the money Bakery had left, just enough to feed the children and slightly dull the pain. But when the last bill was spent, that is when the real struggle began. She would beg from her relatives, sometimes plead with her brothers, or stand for long periods outside her in-laws' house. When no one answered, she would go to work, washing pots at one house, scrubbing floors at another, scouring dirty laundry in backyards. She worked relentlessly every day just for 2 pieces of bread. She offered her back, her hands, her sweat. But, my friends, life is not nourished by bread alone. The silent plea, demands for Eid. When the Eid holiday approached, or when a wedding animated the neighborhood, Nabintu's heart bled. The shining eyes of her children became silent daggers. They didn't understand. And how could they? Mama, the neighborhood kids already have their Eid clothes. When are you getting ours? Mama, last year you didn't get us anything. This time, promise us. Say you'll buy them. These words, she would never forget them. For these words were blades, and those blades cut a little deeper into her dignity each time. But the children saw none of this. They didn't see the sleepless nights or the tears she silently wiped away. They just wanted to be happy. They just wanted to have what others had. And she, all she wanted was to give them a smile, even if it meant extinguishing a little more of herself. This mother only wanted one thing, to see happiness in her children's eyes, even if she had to endure everything for it. The children wouldn't let up. They kept repeating, Mama, this time you must buy us clothes and shoes for Eid. Last year, we sat at home in our old clothes. All our friends made fun of us. This time, take us out so we can feel like everyone else. They were innocent children, and in their innocence, they had the right to ask. They were unaware of the hardships their mother went through every day, enduring humiliations, only to return heartbroken and exhausted, all just for them. Yet, the children saw only their desires, their cravings, their colorful dreams, and the new clothes of other kids. But a mother remains a mother. And on that day, Nabintu made a decision, firmly. This time, whatever the cost, she would bring joy to her children. The doors close and the path narrows. Nabintu went knocking on every door. She humbled herself before her parents and brothers, telling them, My children are insisting. I must buy them clothes and shoes. Please help me. But no one gave her anything. Her parents and brothers pleaded their own financial difficulties. Then, she turned to her in-laws, who gave her a painful suggestion. You are alone now. You should remarry. Find a good man. He will help you and the children. These words made Nabintu tremble. She thought, a man who did not give birth to my children, how could he love them as his own? He can never offer them the tenderness they knew with their father. She resolved she would not remarry. She would endure every suffering, but never would she let her children depend on a stepfather. Leaving their house, a fire burned in her heart. She wondered, where do I go now? Must I sell my dignity for my children's happiness? She shook her head. No, she couldn't. But what if no other option remained? She felt cornered, with no money, weeping children, and no way out. The thought of marriage, too, was impossible now, as only 2 days remained until Eid. Nabinta returned home, heartbroken and empty-handed. She sat in silence, repeating, "What should I do? Who will help me?" Suddenly, she remembered her neighbor, Fatuma, who had mentioned a merchant who sold clothes on credit. Fatuma had warned her, "This man is a bit strange. He has his own conditions, and not everyone manages to accept them." A last spark of hope shone in Nabinta's eyes. She prayed, "Oh Allah, if this is the right path, facilitate it. But if it leads to humiliation, keep it far from me." The unthinkable conditions. Nabinta found the shop. She told the vendor, "I don't have any money on me. I heard you sell on credit." The vendor smiled. "Yes, my sister, but the prices are a little higher, and we don't give anything without a condition. Many people take the clothes and never come back." He handed her a book. "All our conditions are written here. Read them quietly. If you agree, you will have the clothes. But if something displeases you, you will leave in silence." Nabinta opened the book. From the very first condition, her hands began to tremble. It was written, Condition 1. Any woman who wants clothes on credit must first stand completely naked before us. We will film a complete video where her face and body are perfectly visible. This video will be posted on an adult website to repay the debt if she fails to pay on time. Nabinta's heart froze. She had entered that shop to offer happiness, and she was faced with unthinkable blackmail. She read the second condition, and the ground seemed to give way. Condition 2. If you refuse the first condition, then you must establish an intimate relationship with us. You must come every time we call until the entire credit is repaid. If you stop coming, we will circulate the video or file a false police complaint against you. Reading this, Nabinta's face turned ashen. Her chest seemed to be closing up. Finally, the third condition. Condition 3. If you refuse the first two, you must sign an official deed. You confirm that the house you live in, if it is in your name, we have the legal right to claim and sell to recover our money if you fail to pay on time. Nabinta knew one thing. She would not give in to the first or the second condition. She was an honorable woman. She also realized the third condition was impossible. She lived in a rented house, which could not be used as collateral. She closed the book, placed it calmly on the merchant's table without a word, and walked out. Heart heavy, eyes filled with shame, she left with fear, humiliation, and despair. The path of divine mercy. Just as she crossed the threshold, she saw another shop opposite. The vendor, a devout man, had been watching. He had understood everything about the first merchant's cruel tactics. He called her gently. "My sister, if you want clothes, you can come into my shop." Nabinta replied, "Brother, I don't have any money. I came to buy on credit." The man smiled. "You can pay later. What matters is the smile of your children. I have no conditions. No video, no physical contact, no signature. When Allah gives you the money, you will return it to me. No pressure, no obligation." But Nabinta was too broken. Her soul refused to believe even in goodness. Her voice trembling, she barely whispered, "No, brother. I don't want anything. Thank you." She turned and hurried away. The devout vendor understood. This woman was dignified, and she was no longer in a state to trust anyone. He decided to follow her from a distance, just to know where she lived, praying, "O Allah, if my intention is sincere, grant me the chance to help her with respect, without words, but with the heart." He observed her house, then returned. That evening, the vendor returned secretly. He put money in an envelope, approached Nabinta's house silently, and slipped the envelope under the door. No signature, no name, no clue. He had done this only for the satisfaction of Allah, the unseen answer. That night, Nabinta prayed intensely. "O my Allah, you alone know what situation I am in. I have come only to your door. You see the pressure from my children, my silence, and my empty hands. I know you are capable of everything." She cried until she fell asleep. In the morning, she went out into the yard. Her eyes widened. Her heart began to beat rapidly. Just there, in front of her, was an envelope. She slowly approached. In that envelope were wads of money. She had prayed in silence, and the answer had arrived without a sound. "Oh my God, you heard me? You helped me from the unseen, she whispered. There was so much money that she could have supported her children for 5 years. Her eyes filled with tears of pure, immense gratitude. She ran to her prayer mat and fell into prostration. She bought clothes and shoes for her children. And on the day of Eid, she went out with them. The children were happy, and she was at peace. But what made her happiest was this: she hadn't had to bow her head to anyone. She had asked no one except Allah. And Allah had given. She whispered, "Oh Allah, grant us a lawful income, a blessed income, that is a source of peace for our children and tranquility for our hearts. Open unseen paths for those struggling, and never push them to betray their conscience. Amen." And Nabintu remembered the saying of our beloved Prophet Muhammad, PBUH, "Whoever fears Allah, Allah will always open a way out for him, and He will grant him provision from sources he could never imagine."